This is it. We got the patch notes now for the big Akali patch. 2xKO patch notes 1.1.5 coming out April 7th. So I have not seen the patch notes, but based on what I've been hearing, they're a lot larger than I would have expected. Two things mainly that I'm hoping for out of this patch. One, please let Ari be okay. Then second thing, freaking tag specials, namely Vi Alawi. If their plan before was we must nerf charge specials into tag, I hope they continue that and take care of Vi and allow it for that. Primarily Vi, because I am sick and tired of freaking dealing with Vi charge punch plus tag out. My god. Yo, that is sick. That is so cool. One way to change the lobby. That is so cool. Sorry, I'm gushing about cosmetics again. I'm moving on. Sorry. That was stuff I'm sure everyone cares about. System changes. Main system changes. This patch will smooth off the edges on bugs that affected our core system mechanics. We'll continue to clean up Happy Birthday consistency and see how those changes land with each pass. As an Ari player, I've been loving this. Core gameplay change. Handshake's tag now has 3 frames of recovery when assist does not make contact. Oh, interesting. Now there's a startup in a way for handshake tag. Basically having to force yourself to guess in order to be able to beat a handshake tag has always been kind of insane, if we're being honest. You can no longer perform parry after handshake. So this was something that was suggested by a lot of people, just straight up the removal of parrying after handshake tags. People have been using the freeze frames of handshake tags to see what move the opponent is doing, and if they see the opponent going for a normal of any kind, they see the mid or the high, they will parry it. They see the low, they will parry it, and then they just win because they did the tag at the right time. So removing the ability to parry for the first 15 frames basically means that if you do any normal outside of the big old charged one, you cannot parry. The limit strike now builds 20 meter decrease in I don't like that one anymore. We're starting off so good. Why do you have to make me sad all of a sudden? Limit Strike was building too much meter for how easy it was to access for some champions. Let's not talk about the fact that I'm playing 2 of those champions, but shut up. I mean, yeah, meter is plentiful in this game, primarily for those that can do limit strikes anywhere. Kinda makes sense. I don't like it because I play those champions, but so be it, I guess. Nerf the amount of super meter gained when performing long combos. Maybe these are just the Ari changes then. Ari builds less meter. Ari builds less meter. Maybe that's just all it is. You have to be really going for a long combo in order to get to 15 seconds, so I guess that's fine, but break meter out and accumulate faster while in combo. Oh no. The break limit now starts at 6 as well instead of 8. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to start making my combos shorter. Before, for me, I was basically getting to this point right at the end of my combo. So if I go anything longer than that, I'm going to be giving them double the amount of meter I was giving them before, because it's 1 second later, it becomes 6 times. We're increasing break meter gain to tip the scales more towards resets and less towards long combos. Shoutouts to Echo players, I guess. Rolls are only performed by holding down. Yes! This was so stupid. I'm holding down back. I want to get up and block low. Why am I forced to roll by holding down back? That's a great change. Now now the only way you roll is by holding forward or back accordingly. Great change. Should have always been like this. Champion adjustments. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. We're pretty happy with where our last pass landed in terms of balance. I can understand that. We've gotten a lot more diverse meta since Yasuo and Echo got toned down, for better or for worse, depending on who you ask. We're excited to see how Akali's arrival, a few more Echo nerfs, and Jinx Caitlyn buffs affect the meta. Shoutouts to the fact that Echo still needs more nerfs, apparently. Akali, she's gonna be, hey, she's brand new. Nothing here. She's new and she's perfect. I hope so. No major changes to Ari, but we're pulling back some power from wild players. All things the nerf on Ari, her neutral S2. This move was generating quite a bit of meter. We're nerfing her meter too. Interacting with it after push block was difficult due to its deceptive range. Yeah, the last hit hits people even after push block. Wildflare's hits on blocks have been reduced. Wildflare's took quite some time, so we shaved off 5 frames off this move to make blocking and using feeling better. I actually don't like that. I actually don't like that at all. Primarily because of the fact that 5 less frames that I can set up. Then again, that's why it's a nerf. We're reducing the range to make interacting with it post push block a little easier. Fair, because like I said, the last hit just magically hits you after push block. I never really understood why either, because it doesn't look like it does, but it does. To compensate for the shorter range, we're reducing the launch distance of the second hit so it still connects. Makes sense. I imagine they didn't do that, and the last hit just always misses. If that's all it is, which it appears that's all it is, we're good. If that's all that's being nerfed for us, we are fine. We are okay, and Akali is still the potential choice. Blitzcrank, air purifier down S1, air purifier assist back. Assist, her boxes have been adjusted. They are now disjointed, which will let Blitzcrank grab champions from aerial moves more easily. I'm pretty sure I've been grabbed many times by that anyways, so sure, why not? I think it's going to do very much, but why not? Rocket Punch. S2, her box has been adjusted and is now immune to projectiles. I'm pretty sure it already was, and now it is more consistently that. Okay, I don't think Blitz is really going anywhere, and more than likely will be staying where he is near the bottom of the list. But the job he does is probably still going to be as good as ever. Braum. Removing some power from Braum, stand behind me and stand by me assist. We just buffed these. Now we realize we buffed them too much. Okay, so now characters that are not Ari and Teemo now have a easier time jumping over him. Okay, people are still going to hate him. Caitlyn's undergoing some significant consistency improvements to improve her overall quality of life. Comboing as Caitlyn and converting off stray hits will be more reliable. Shield S2 super now pushes grounded opponents less on hits. I wonder if this is actually going to end up being a nerf to the multi-shot consistent pushback into shots into like shot into super or whatever. No, it actually doesn't do enough damage anyway, so ignoring that. Added an additional hitbox to ace in the hole. Ultimate that catches opponent performing a low attack close to Caitlyn. Yep, I definitely took advantage of that one time by pure accident, where I went for a 2L. She shot her ultimate at me, which I should have gotten hit, and it went right over my head, and she died. A lot of consistency stuff that I'm sure everyone that plays her is very thankful for. Caitlyn can cancel rival shot into reload shot when opponent parries the bullets. Okay, this one is going. This is the most useful thing I have seen so far. Okay, to be fair, the consistency stuff is all great. Ari went from bad to like high tier just from consistency buffs, so I definitely can't say anything against that. But being able to do the second shot, whether they parry it or not, is going to be massive for her. If you're good enough to parry the first shot, you're probably good enough to parry the next one. Fair enough. That is a great change, and one that's probably going to help her a ton. All the bug fixes. Once again, if you guys want to read them, here they are. Feel free to pause and read because, oh my god. We think Dare's in a good spot, but we'll continue to keep an eye on how he's performing. Buffs. His down assist active frames have been increased from 1 to 2 to allow it to connect to the point champion hits at the same time. Okay. Echo's beginning to stabilize in the meta, but there are 2 remaining options we want to remove from his kit before we say we're feeling good about his power level. So Echo before is able to rewind when they see the break and just ignore it and basically put your opponent immediately back in a block string while beating up on their assist as well if they fall all the way back down to the ground. Yep, that's fine. Echo install now ends when Echo is... Oh, that's okay. I'll be honest, this is something I thought was already a thing. Not the break part, but the get up attack. Like a couple patches ago when they said the clone would go away on knockdown, that would include get up attack, but I guess it will, starting now, it will now entirely go away, including install when get up attack happens. Okay, that's fine. And then a bunch of bug fixes. So Echo, I'll be honest, I wasn't really, when I think of Echo as still potentially one of the best characters in the game, I wasn't really thinking about his ability to replay through break. That being said, that is a very, very powerful option that I can understand why they're removing it. Now, if he wants to deal with break, he has to bait it like the rest of us. Well, I say that as if I'm not currently playing him. Alright, Alawi, the first of the 2 involving tagouts I want to see. Even with the erratic tentacles, Alawi was still quite strong. Removing the ability to down S2 on tagouts. This means that Vi is getting changed too. Nerfs. So now Alawi can no longer grab opponents when performing prayer and stagnation down S1 while tagged out. Alawi down S2 auto fires on tagouts. Say no more. We know what this means. We are happy. Adjustment. Tentacle match S1 is no longer cancelable into prayer and stagnation down S1 with tentacle and tagged out. We removed. Alawi still going to be super powerful, but at least the tag out thing is gone, which is honestly the main thing I care about. Jinx. Jinx is underperforming in the meta. We're giving Jinx some buffs to her normals to help her better fight at the mid-range and improve her consistency. It's just going to be consistency buffs again, isn't it? Finally, we gave Chomper some love by increasing its projectile durability and reducing the launch height, so it's easier to convert if it touches. Flame Chompers are now a Poro. Flame Chompers have the durability of a Poro. Reduce pushback on block from medium. Jinx often had normals whiff after being used against blocking opponents. We've reduced the amount of pushback on block from mediums to help follow-up attacks connect. Okay. Jinx's overhead is often risky. We want to encourage Jinx to space the move appropriately, and a well-spaced down forward heavy will now be safe on block. Trying to make a properly spaced overhead be safe, huh? It was a borderline death sentence at all times before, so maybe we'll see more use in it. So maybe it'll be good. That's an interesting one. Seems like a lot of these are just really mainly just consistency stuff. Could be what she really needs. I'll be honest, I don't play Jinx, so I don't know how inconsistent this stuff is. Teemo. I think either Teemo's instant overhead shouldn't be he shouldn't be able to do an instant overhead. As a set play zoner character, it's weird that he has the best mix-ups in the entire game. Also, he probably shouldn't also have the best Oki in the game with the Mushroom Super Oki. Teemo's in a good position right now, so he's getting, Flying Dart Ultimate now hits lower to better, okay, so now if you're crouching or doing a sweep or a 2L right in front of him, less like you're not going to suddenly miss. And then bug fixes, so yeah, he's getting nothing then. Teemo is still going to be a duo monster, and he's still going to have the best Oki in the game, and probably still the best mix-ups in the game. Vi. Let's remove S1 and call it a day. Vi's even 2 major adjustments. Again, S1, don't care. Vault Breaker S1 will now auto-fire. Yep, okay, say no more. I think we're good here. The difficulty interacting with his post-handshake tag was create unhealthy play patterns. A friend of mine, a lot of his combos involved the S1 tag. So he was honestly using that more than he was actually abusing the S1 plus tag in neutral. So his combos are dying for the sins of the people who just relentlessly abused Vi's S1 hold plus tag. Really, the only thing I cared about is this, and if we're being honest, just about everybody who wanted Vi nerfed pretty much all primarily just care about this. How good is she outside of this will probably now be determined, because now the actual strength of the character and where she belongs in the meta will now be based entirely around her and her kit, rather than strictly based purely, which, let's be honest, most people are kind of just using only it in the case of the charged S1 plus tag. Or we need some help after the last patch, if we're being honest. Let's see. Not a lot of changes for Warwick. Oh boy. So this patch was made before last patch's nerfs. So basically, next patch is when we're probably going to see buffs to Warwick to account for the fact that Warwick has seen a massive drop-off since the changes to his S1 basically made it where that wasn't the one thing he just used over and over and over again. Buffs. Midair Spinning Slicer S2 now sends opponents less far away from Warwick and builds slightly more Bloodlust. Nerfs. Warwick no longer generates Bloodlust from hitting tentacles, mushrooms, chompers, etc. Okay, well, Warwick players continue to be sad. Last patch made a big impact on Yasuo, and we're comfortable leaving his power where it is for now as we analyze his spot in the meta. Just bug fixes. Yasuo survives a patch without being nerfed. Congratulations, Yasuo players. I already have 2 Ahri skins. Do I really need a third one? Her Foxfires and everything are water serpents. God damn it, right. I'm probably going to end up having a third Ahri skin, aren't I? And that's the end of it. Honestly, pretty good patch. Why do I say pretty good patch? Slight bias because of the fact that Ahri is still fine, and Vi and Alawi's tagouts are cooked. The only thing I'm concerned about for Ahri is going to be what her meter gain is going to look like. That's just my thoughts though. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the patch is good? And are you guys ready for Akali? I hope she's as cool as she looks. That's the best way I can put it. I hope she is as cool as she looks. But make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.